Hey guys, and welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined today by Ash Paulson and Tom Arnold to discuss the recent news of Shovel Knight's Plague of Shadows DLC. So let's get started. So, guys, we knew this DLC was coming, and we've always known it's been free, but, I mean, how excited are you guys? I know this was your Game of the Year last year for both of you, now that we have actual details about this mode.
Oh man, I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am. This instantly became my most anticipated gaming-related anything of 2015 when it was announced. I mean, and I'm sure it'll be that until the next DLC is announced. So, I mean, I love Shovel Knight so much. I can't stop playing it, replaying it over and over again. This game is just so good, and I cannot wait to have a new campaign to play through and just new stuff to do.
I'm just blown away that this is free, first of all, because it was a stretch goal from the Kickstarter. But there are going to be 2 more playable bosses later in the year.
Right.
It's just going to keep going. I just can't really wrap my head around it right now, but playing as Plague Knight is going to be sick.
And the 2 other bosses are King Knight and Spectre Knight, right?
I was trying to track that down, but I'm going to trust you on that one.
Yeah, I think they are. And then there's also like a Smash Brothers-esque battle mode coming to the Wii U version sometime down the line.
Oh my gosh.
With all bosses playable.
Yeah, you can play as everyone, I think including Shield Knight as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that may just be me making that up, but I think that's what I heard.
And these were all part of stretch goals, correct?
Yeah.
Wow. That is,
I know.
That is so impressive. Like I didn't follow this game. Like I heard it was being made by, former WayForward developers, and I heard everybody was kind of excited for it and interested in it. But Tom was the one kind enough to give me an extra copy, and I sat down and played this and just blown away by this game. I mean, it really is as good as everybody has said. And I'm completely excited about this too, especially because it's free and there's just so much as part of this DLC. And with you guys saying there's even more coming, it's rare to see a Kickstarter deliver this much. Like usually there's you're so used to hearing stories about certain promises just being broken, and that's not the case here. Every promise is seemingly being fulfilled to a degree that just blows your mind.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they're going to keep releasing new versions of the game on other platforms and do this simultaneously, because apparently when they delayed Shovel Knight about 3 months, they were basically all broke then and having their credit cards declined at stores and stuff. So
oh, geez.
hopefully it's not quite like that for them right now.
Yeah, I'd hope so. I mean, that takes some dedication. They were all broke. They're, out of money, and they still deliver this stuff, and they're still delivering this for free as far as DLC. Because my initial thought was it was free for the backers, but you still had to pay if you were a non-backer, which for me, that was fine. I was, looking at this, this is DLC I'd be willing to pay for.
Yeah.
But it's, even more impressive that it's free for everybody, whether you backed it or not.
That's the thing, is that I'm not even a big, I don't really purchase paid DLC very often, but this is ironically one of the few times where I'd be happy to throw money at them. I mean, happy to. I mean, this game is so good, and there's so much passion, evident passion behind it. And they're so proud of what they've made, and yeah, I'd be happy to pay for it, and I'll even have to.
Yeah, it's like, let me give you my money.
Yeah, I mean that's the exactly the reason I'm going to pay for the PS4 version, or with crossplay with Vita, just because I didn't really get a chance to pay for it because I got the review copies from them for the Wii U and 3DS version, and I want to pay for it. Like, I want to show them my support with my wallet because they deserve it so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've been considering picking up the 3DS one just to have her planes and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
That way you help them support them in some way.
And the 3DS effects are so great in the 3DS version, too.
I mean, just looking through this gameplay, like, the new gameplay for their fact sheet is, like, you can, use explosives, bomb jumps, and alchemy as the Plague Knight, which makes sense, being the Plague Knight. Then they have this whole new crafting and alchemy system where, like, it's not just money you're going to be collecting now, but materials that I guess help you out with new other things. I'm very curious how that system's going to play out, and of course remix previous areas as well as new areas and new bosses, as well as all the previous bosses according to what the story is. So that's a lot of content.
It does not sound half-assed.
No.
Not at all. And specifically, the thing about new areas kind of intrigues me. Like, I wonder if we're getting all new stages or just new areas in existing stages. I wasn't really expecting all new areas, but it sounds as if maybe we're getting some, which also means new music by Jake Kaufman, which is a whole nother reason to be excited if that's the case.
I think you can pretty much be assured that there will be new music, because I'm looking at one of the screenshots here, the one in front of the waterfall, and it actually has one of those musical sheets on the right side.
Yeah, but that's the same. That's one of the same sheets you can already collect, isn't it?
You're the one more familiar with the like every area by playing over and over again. So
that's already a music sheet you can collect in the regular game.
Okay, so you could so you think that. You think you can recollect the same music sheets as Plague Knight and not have those music sheets be new just in the same areas?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wonder if maybe when you're starting a new game, that's where you select a playable character. Like, I wonder how this is going to kind of slot into the existing game.
I almost wonder if it's going to be just probably a new story, and is it you select between Shovel Knight or Plague Knight? I mean, That's what
I was thinking originally.
Yeah, I couldn't see it really being integrated into it where you just switch your character in the map screen. Mm-hmm. Considering the new story, and it looks like they have their own storyboard screens. They say there might be find some romance, and they have pictures of Mona in it, so it might be something along those lines. Sorry for obvious spoilers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think it's going to be pretty separate from what we've already played, so you just have to start over.
Yeah. Well, and it looks like they also said that there are going to be new routes through existing levels, kind of maybe in like a Sonic 3 and Knuckles type thing, where, you know, Plague Knight can't necessarily reach the same areas as Shovel Knight can, so he has to kind of find his own way through existing levels, which would be kind of cool for people who've already played the game 100 million times like I have and Tom has.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that'd be great with the remix levels. Now, we were saying... Derek was asking earlier if you think there'll be new levels, or let's say new environments, and they do say new bosses, so it is possible.
Yeah, and they say new levels too. So, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what it seems like it's going to be. I just wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, do you think these bosses will be, like, will you be taking on Shovel Knight and Shield Knight as Plague Knight in this case, or are they going to actually have completely new characters for Plague Knight's campaign?
Man, I mean, the possibilities are endless, honestly. I mean, it's really... I wouldn't be surprised to see Shovel Knight make a cameo and then you have to fight him, but man, who knows? Maybe we'll be introduced to some, like, rival character for Plague Knight, and that'll end up being, like, Plague Knight's final boss or something.
Oh, that'd be good if he... Because you remember that Black Knight from Shovel Knight's campaign? It'd be... I wonder if he'll show up or if they'll create someone new.
Hell, maybe he'll even have to fight Mona at some point, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would make sense, especially if she was trying to stop him from collecting that ultimate recipe that the storyline's based around. But something to consider, they're saying with the alchemy system how you craft new equipment and power-ups. Do you think instead of collecting power-ups and bosses, you'll have to craft them instead? That's where alchemy comes in?
Maybe you get recipes and you use those recipes in order to craft the equipment and power-ups.
Yeah, that could... I mean, we've got some interesting looking new gameplay mechanics on the top bar here on the user interface. We got a power meter, and it looks like Plague Knight's life can be green as well now too, which I'm not really sure what that means, unless maybe that's just like double hit points or something.
Maybe.
But we've got a bunch of new mechanics to look at here, like with the green power meter. I mean, there's so much going on with the material totals. I mean, it seems like it really changes the whole game up.
Yeah, I'd say so, which is even more impressive, that the fact that, again, this is free. So I don't know. It really, I mean, I love the game just as much as anyone. Probably not as much as you guys, but I'm still, like, as a more casual Shovel Knight fan, I am really excited about this and seeing all the possibilities. So I'm very curious to see what it's all going to turn out like.
Well, it's okay, Derek. You still get a pass because Andre hasn't even played Shovel Knight, so he's the true enemy here.
That's very true.
I do love this one screenshot of Plague Knight being thrown out of the village because they're like, "Aren't you in the Order of No Quarter? You're not allowed here." I love that.
It reminds me of Dragon Quest 4 or Dragon Warrior 4 when you switched your order of characters and walked into a town as the slime. and people would just be like, ah!
Those details are really awesome.
No, and it looks like the writing is maintaining like the same high quality as it had in the original game. Like we're with King Knight saying, "You double-crossing constable of crucibles." Like the writing in this is so good. I mean, there's just so much. There's so much polish in Shovel Knight, and it looks like that's kind of extending to the DLC as well.
Yeah, I'd say so. And I'm just super excited. And really, what are you most excited about this as I wrap this up?
It's just that we get something for Shovel Knight that's, for me, it feels so soon in a way. I know it's almost going to be a year since it came out, but it still feels soon. And for a game that was so good to get such a new variety of content like this, that's a fresh take in the game, I think I won't get bored of it. Like, I know we've played it tons of times, but eventually you can get bored of a game, but this feels like something new and fresh, so that's what I'm most happy about, I'd say.
Nice. I think for me, I think the possibility of having new music in the soundtrack to go with these, mysterious new areas mentioned in the press release is what I am most excited about. So I'm going to go with that, just because Shovel Knight soundtrack is one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah. I think I'm probably most excited about just actually playing as Plague Knight, because it looks like he's not just a reskinned version of Shovel Knight. This is a completely different way to play, which makes it all that more interesting, which, going back to your Sonic and Knuckles comparison, Ash, it is like playing that game, because I would play, that game, multiple times just because I had these slightly different characters to try out with. So I'm excited that aspect is going to be in this game, and seeing how he plays and what he does. And I think I'm really excited just to try out Plague Knight.
Right, yeah, no, I mean, I love the idea of finding new routes through existing stages, where it's like it's kind of rediscovering the same game.
I'm curious to see if when we're playing as Plague Knight, if he'll be dancing around the whole time, like when you fight him, or if he's just going to be kind of standing there. Just hopping around.
Yeah, I hope that you can eventually power him up to the point where he becomes that annoying, because he's still, in my opinion, the hardest of the bosses.
Alright guys, well I think that covers it for our Shovel Knight DLC discussion, so thank you guys for watching, and if you like this video, be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain, and of course stay tuned to GameXplain for more on Shovel Knight and other things gaming too. Until next time guys, bye.